Hi everyone and welcome. In this video I'm setting a Hotlap at Interlagos in the ever popular Porsche 911 RSR Gr.3 car. Interlagos is another world famous track, being situated in Sao Paulo, incidentally the hometown of both Emerson Fittipaldi and Ayrton Senna. It's well known for being the long-time host of the Brazilian Grand Prix. The track's long straight sections, linked by fast sweeping corners, combined with its more twisty midsection, means that you need a well-balanced car to get the most out of it, and the Porsche fits that bill nicely. For this lap, I have bouncer power switched on, which, while giving a bit of extra power, also adds a bit of weight, and in my experience, one pretty much cancels out the other in terms of lap time. With traction control off, however, the extra weight does seem to make the car more stable in the corners. For me, there are three areas of the track that are crucial to get right if you want to go fast here. They are the areas where I feel it's easiest to lose, and of course gain, time. To that end, after each of the replay views in this video, I'm going to go through each section in turn and hopefully give you some tips on how to be fast at Interlagos. First crucial section is the Senna S, corners 1 and 2. Getting this complex right will set you up for the first half of your lap. The best way I found to approach this corner was to brake later than you might think, just before the 50-meter sign here. Keeping braking, begin to turn in ever so slightly when you reach the end of the concrete wall. Still braking, increase the rate of turning as you go under the footbridge. Start to let off the brakes gradually as you turn until you are coasting. Try to apex just where the white painted grass meets the rumble strip. Begin to accelerate gently as you exit the corner, but continue to steer left as you do so, never going full throttle. The aim is to cross over from steering left to steering right in the middle of the track, about halfway between the corners. Let off the throttle slightly to help you turn right, take a reasonable amount of curb, and apex where the white line crosses the track. As you come off the inside curb, begin to accelerate so that your path takes you across the track, switching from steering right to steering left just as you touch the curb. Continue to hug the inside curb, and if you do this correctly, you should be able to go full throttle from this point on. I'll see you again after the next replay for the second crucial section of this track. By the way, for the next two sections, I'm not going to insult any Portuguese speakers by trying to pronounce their real names, so I'll just use their corner numbers. The second section I'm going to talk about is corner 4. This is a very tricky corner to get right, hence the huge runoff area, but nailing it is key. You approach this corner flat out, and missing your braking point can be disastrous, so it can be better to err on the side of caution here, especially as there are few obvious markers as you go through the corner. Begin your braking at the small tarmac cross section on the right hand side, just beyond the 100-metre sign. Begin to turn in ever so slightly as you do, increasing the angle of your steering as you approach the corner. Begin to coast before you apex, still turning to the left. Try to apex just where the tarmac cross section meets the rumble strips on the inside. Gradually get back on the power, and although in my lap I had to let off briefly to correct some oversteer, you should be able to accelerate out from the apex, taking a line that brings you back into the apex of turn 5. Keep on full throttle all the way down to turn 6. The final corner to look at is number 11, arguably the sharpest turn on the whole track, and the closest Interlagos has to a hairpin bend. It's tempting here to hug the inside of the corner and run out onto the curve on the opposite side, but I find that with no traction control, the reduced grip can not only spin you out a lot, but it's actually faster to apex late and only touch the inside strip, keeping all 4 wheels on the tarmac, allowing for greater acceleration and speed through the next corner. To be totally safe, you can also apex even later and thread a line through between both the rumble strips. The time difference is marginal, and is a good plan B if you miss your braking point slightly. Let's go through the corner a step at a time. As you approach the corner, you should begin braking at the end of the green painted section on the left hand side. Still braking, begin to turn in as you approach the lamppost on the left. Get back on the throttle ever so slightly before the apex to help bring the rear of the car around. You should be on about half throttle at the apex. As you exit the corner, get back on the throttle and your shallower line should allow you to keep further to the right and hold the throttle wide open all the way through the next turn. Well, that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and maybe even found it helpful in your quest for a faster lap around Interlagos. If you've got any thoughts on what you'd like to see in future videos, please let me know in the comments.